Okay, so we are live. Happy Saturday and welcome. Today I have a special guest and someone who I am excited to talk to with you. Um, and share her experience. She actually is a recent graduate of the Employee to Designer coaching program, and she's going to be sharing, what her experience is like. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Monique Nicole Holmes. I'm the creator and founder of Employee to Designer, a coaching program that helps emerging design professionals create a six-figure interior design business. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss Maria Michaud. And we're just going to just chat. I want to just ask you a couple questions about what your experience was like. But let's start off with uh, how did you actually find out about Employee to Designer? And how did we meet? I can't remember.
Right. So, honestly, I think Facebook fed you or fed
Mhm.
me your program.
Okay.
So, I kept seeing it and just these, the ads that were coming up kind of were intriguing. So I decided to click. And next thing I knew, I was getting emails and offering, just a free chat to talk about the program. And
Right.
that's it. I mean, from there, basically, we met. I really liked your personality and your attitude overall was just very welcoming and warm and just made me feel comfortable from the get go. And I just figured you were a great match.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for taking that first step because I always believe that that is the sometimes the hardest thing to do is to have the courage to take the first step to work towards what you want. So I'm glad that we connected and you decided to take that first step.
Me too.
So with that, tell me, what did things look like in your business and in your life before you took the program?
So before I was really trying to figure out where to go with things, what I should do, how to really set the business up. 15 years ago, I had my own business, but times change and the way that we advertise really changed as well. Before everything was newsprint. Um, so it's not like that anymore. It's all social media based. So being able to brainstorm with you and go through the process, also being that you have everything so organized
Mhm.
is very helpful. So, step one, what you need to do is really think about what it is that you want to do. What's your niche market? Who's your ideal customer? Get
Mhm.
those together and then go from there. Making sure that you're setting up your legal entity and you're getting your tax ID. All that stuff is super important, but probably not things that I would have thought about
Mhm.
until um, a bit after. So just kind of having those steps at the forefront of my mind was very helpful. And then also knowing that, you were picking the same products as I was, for example, design files.
Mhm.
You're sitting there trying to figure out, okay, should I use this or should I use SketchUp? What's the pricing? Do
Yeah.
I need to learn AutoCAD? That kind of stuff. And seeing that there are, programs available that are more intuitive and easier to learn. And then just knowing that everybody else in the group is supporting each other and helping each other along. That was really important too for confidence.
Mhm. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I find that I know even for me when I was building my business and trying to figure out like what programs to use and how to make sure that I'm not spending too much or, trying programs and then it doesn't work. And then now I've wasted money. And so one of the things that I love to do is I'm always testing programs so that you guys don't have to do that. You don't have to make mistakes and risk, spending money and then it doesn't work out. It's not what you thought it was. But that you really can hone in and use the programs that are going to help you to run your business. So and yes, we love design files. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, good. Okay, tell me a little about, so after you started the program and, you got started. Can you tell me some specific things that you feel like happened with your business, and even maybe with you, and how you um, progressed in the program?
Right. I mean, I would say definitely mindset changed for me. Um, Instead of having an attitude of maybe I can do this, it was I can definitely do this. And now I know the steps that I need to take in order to make it happen. Um, as you know, I'm still working full time, so that's
Mhm.
been a little bit rough trying to find the time. But you kind of helping me look at it and say, okay, well, maybe I need to get up an hour or two early in the morning and,
Mhm.
work on things to get things going to a point where I can handle the clients that are coming in. Plus, I can handle my job. And, I'm hoping that, in a few months, October actually is my plan to leave.
Okay.
So, that's super exciting as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's great. Going in the program and really seeing your transformation and being able to step away and say, okay, I was here, and these are things that I've worked on and I've been able to improve, I think are really great. And I love that you have a plan, right? Everybody's plan may be different, but you have some set goals, and I'm really excited about seeing you fulfill them. So that's good stuff.
I'm excited too. And like I said, I really feel like the mindset is the biggest thing. As soon as you have that inkling of maybe I can't,
Hmm.
that's when things get super scary. But, you know, having your support and seeing that, you were like me, you had a full time job, you were able to pull yourself away, build that clientele, put the business together and keep it going. It was a huge
Yeah,
boost.
yeah, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And I think you made a really good point that, sometimes fear comes up when you feel like you don't know what to do. Especially, most of um, the members in Employee to Designer, they are working a full-time job. And so that is my passion, is helping people who are just like me. And I had a great paying job, but I knew I had to figure out a way to do both, right? So that I could not only support my lifestyle, but also, think about building something for my future. And that's not always easy, and it could be very scary. So I appreciate you sharing that, because I think that's a big, big challenge for a lot of people. And it's interesting because sometimes it's just knowing what to do, right? For example, you were saying, waking up, we talked about waking up maybe an hour or two earlier. Now that's not like anything um, different or amazing. It's not like a revelation or anything, but a lot of times you just are not in the mindset to think about, okay, what are some solutions that can help me to do this? And sometimes it's just helpful to have someone who's done it and say, okay, well, this is what works. Try this.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Okay. Okay, so how did you feel about the program? So while you were, as you got started and as you were in the program, what were some of the feelings and emotions that came up? And how did you feel about the program overall?
So going through the modules, at times I felt very excited. Sometimes I felt like, okay, how am I going to put this together and what does this really mean?
Mhm.
So being able to have that, honestly, if you recall, I started with the group coaching, and that's really what made me think, you know what, I need this one-on-one time with Monique, because I would hear the other girls talk about their one-on-one time, and I feel like, oh, I'm missing out. I really need that one-on-one time with her. So that's what really made me move off the mark and go to the one-on-one coaching, is just realizing that little extra hand holding plus helping me figure it out. Now, I will be honest, I felt like with working full time, and I mean, I'm working 50 hours a week, sometimes more because the type of business that I'm in. Um, I felt like maybe I know I didn't give it all that I could, which
Mhm.
in some ways is upsetting, because
Mhm.
I'm holding myself back. But at the same token, I have to do what I have to do because of I'm still working. So
Absolutely.
that was something that I definitely learned about myself, is that I have to stay on myself to dedicate that hour or two in the morning or that hour or two in the afternoon. And frankly, maybe 8 hours on Saturday and 8 hours on Sunday, to get
Mhm.
things done.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
holding myself accountable is another thing that definitely, not that I didn't know before, but you definitely reinforced, having that accountability.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah. And I also think, celebrating your wins are
Hmm.
important because, like you said, you can have that feeling of like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or, I didn't get everything done that I wanted to. So I failed this week. But you got to give yourself some grace, right? Like
Yeah.
you said, you're working a full-time job. And the truth is that most people never even explore, you know, venturing into doing what they want to do and what they love. So, like that step alone, you've accomplished a ton. So yeah, so that's great. That's great.
I would say the tools too that you provide really helped keep me organized as well. So, like, the tools that you showed us for financial goals.
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of people think about that. Where do they need to be to maintain their lifestyle? Figuring out what your sales need to look like. Yes, it may look daunting, but you start slow
Mhm.
with it. You set
Right.
yourself goals. And so those tools as well, I found very helpful.
Yeah. Awesome. 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 Great. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to be honest again. I mean, obviously, I want you to be honest, but um, what hesitations did you have before joining the program?
So the only hesitation I had was whether or not I could really make it work within my budget. So
Mhm.
that was honestly it. I knew after talking, excuse me, after talking with you, you were the perfect fit for me because you have the same goals, same values as I have. I could see right away your family was extremely important to you. As you know, my family is extremely important to me. Um, Seeing that you're engaged in religion, that's important to me too. So just knowing that you have those same important factors within your life um, just made me know that you were the right fit for me. And like I said, the only hesitation was whether or not I could afford the program.
All
So.
right. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. And last question, but definitely not the least. What would you say to someone who is, where you are or where you were when you started the program and is, contemplating of, working with a coach or just taking that next step to start their business?
I would say do it. Push yourself to get off the mark and do it. And make sure that you find someone who's the right fit for you. I mean, I think I told you I had another coach previous and she just was not the right fit for me. And once I talked to you and saw that you actually cared about me and
Mhm.
that you weren't in it for just you,
Okay.
um, that's what really made me know that this was the right move for me and that's what I needed. Sometimes you just need that bit of hand holding that someone's going to guide you through, someone who has experience and they understand what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You need that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. That's good advice. That's good advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. And one other thing I do want to ask, so I would let, and this is, based on your comfort level, but if you don't mind, can you share like where you are, some of the things you've accomplished since completing the program, some of your wins and successes,
Sure.
and what you're looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, so since completing the project, I do have a couple projects in the pipeline. I have I do furniture as well
Mhm.
as the interior decorating. So I actually have a line of furniture redesigns. So I have about 5 people in the pipeline for that. And then I have about 3 customers in the pipeline for interior decorating. So it
Wow.
is coming along,
Yeah.
um, you know, slow but sure. And I think
Mhm.
that's what you want. You want that steady flow. Getting referrals definitely is something that is extremely important. So I would definitely, you do a module on that, and at the time I don't think I realized how important that is, but it's
Yeah.
extremely important. And you need, when you're consulting with a customer and they ask you for those referrals, you need to know exactly who's going to support you and who you can refer them to. So
That's good. That's good.
definitely having those at my fingertips helped. So
Mhm. Yes, you learned that. I'm so
yeah,
excited when you say that. Yeah, because remember, not all clients are created equal, right?
right.
And having the power to say no to what or who is not going to serve you is just as important as saying yes to the right client. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and not everybody's a fit for you, and it's okay. That
mhm.
was something that was hard to understand for me too, is that it's okay for you to say, no, I don't think you're the right fit for me, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
from
Yeah, I mean, because the truth is, like, if you take on a client that is not the right fit, then that time that you could be spending with the right client and enjoying the process and making great money and serving them well, you don't have that to give because you're stuck with, this client that's not the right fit. So it's weird how your brain works where you think you think the opposite where I just have to take on whatever comes because, I might not have enough. And that is, that's a mentality thing. And you know this, I know you know this, but it's just making that shift that you will get more than enough of what you need.
yeah,
And that you have the power to create the experience, create the life, and take on the clients that you truly want to work with. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. Awesome. Well, do you want to share anything else? Is there anything you want to say or?
Um, I would just really encourage people to take the leap. Starting and owning your own business, it's a huge responsibility, but it's also hugely rewarding. And I think, when you have a program and a group of ladies that get together and you discuss what's happening and you have a fantastic coach who's leading you all with the charge, it's super inspiring and just overall can make your life that much better. You just have
Yeah.
to be willing to, like you said, put aside the fear and march forward with it.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Great advice. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for your success. I know that you're going to go on and accomplish all of your goals. And I will be watching on the sidelines like every coach does. And I will be rooting. So I'm looking forward to that. And please let everyone know where they can find you, um, on social media or your website, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So my website is affordabledesignanddecor.com, and I'm here in Connecticut. So,
Nice.
you know,
Okay. And you're on Instagram as well, right?
yep, same
And
at Affordable Design and Decor.
awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for your time. It has been a pleasure and an honor working with you and coaching you. And I will be on the lookout. So you guys look out for Maria. She's got some big things coming. And yeah, we'll be giving you some updates. So thank you again, Maria. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.